Hey guys, it's Will, and I hope you're having a great day. You know, sometimes I honestly believe these Trump supporters would start an argument in an empty house. Just bear with me and do me a favor, watch this video to the end. Every time I do a video and mention Project 2025 and all the horrible things that are in it, it never fails that a farmer, rancher, or just a general Trump supporter will come into my comments and tell me, haven't you heard, Will, Trump doesn't support 2025. And it reminds me of a story my grandpa used to tell of two farmers that are walking across a field in the middle of the spring and they come across a pile of horse manure. First farmer looks down at the pile of horse manure and says, "Sure looks like horse manure." Second farmer looks down at the pile of horse manure and says, "Yep, sure looks like horse manure." And pardon me for the next part of this story, but the first farmer reaches down, grabs one of the biscuits, pulls it up to his nose, takes a big whiff, and says, "Sure smells like horse manure." Second farmer, not wanting to be outdone, grabs the biscuit out of the first farmer's hand, takes a big whiff, and says, "Yep, you're right, sure smells like horse manure." Finally, the first farmer, really trying to get the point across, takes a little nibble off the biscuit and says, sure tastes like horse manure." And because everybody knows no farmer or rancher is going to be outdone by his neighbor, second farmer takes a nibble and says, "Oh, yeah, sure tastes like horse manure." The second farmer tosses the biscuit on the ground. Both farmers look at it and say in unison, "Boy, sure glad we didn't step in it." Do you get the point? Do you really need to smell and taste Trump's BS when you can see it with your own eyes? Trump has a history of trying to wriggle his way out of bad things by saying he just absolutely didn't know of or didn't know the person involved with it. First of all, there were at least 140 people that either used to work for Donald Trump or work for him now that were involved in the creation of Project 2025. And we all know you don't work for Trump or stay a friend of Trump's if he doesn't know what you're doing and approve of it in advance. And who could forget this little gem when the person responsible for the creation of Project 2025 was recorded in a secret recording saying, "Hey, don't worry about the fact that Trump's trying to say he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. He supports it, and we're 100% confident he'll come on board after elected." Then there's the time a paper uncovered the fact that people on the Trump campaign have been working with and associating with the authors of Project 2025 all along. Or who could forget the time when Donald Trump went on with his old buddy Sean Hannity and embraced the key elements of Project 2025, especially the part that calls for a dictatorial leader to take over the United States? Or how about the time on September 7th when Trump embraced Project 2025, wrapped his arms around it, and gave it a big kiss at his rally? And it's no secret that the people behind Project 2025 have created 23 videos that they have prepared for people in the Trump administration to watch to learn exactly how to implement Project 2025. And 29 of those 36 videos were done by people that worked for Trump or J.D. Vance. And you've got to be as confused as Hogan's goat to believe that just because Donald Trump says he doesn't know somebody or doesn't know about something, that he really doesn't. Look at this gem. 20 people that Trump has personally known and then claimed he didn't when the Shinola hit the fan, as they say. There was Ambassador Gordon Sondland, who raised tons of money for Trump and used to personally text off-color humor to him back and forth. Nope, Trump says, "I hardly ever knew the guy." And how about his good friend Anthony Scaramucci, who, after he fired him after just a week at the White House, said, "Hey, basically, guys, I never knew him." Or how about George Papadopoulos, who Trump actually tapped to serve on his foreign policy team, personally asked him to come join the team, and later said, "Hey, I hardly knew the guy." But my favorite was his own campaign manager, Paul Manafort. You remember the guy that ran Trump's campaign and was listed in the Mueller report as having shared targeted data with the Russians? Nope, Trump never heard of the guy once he got busted. Or how about this guy that wasn't qualified to pull old gum off the under table at Denny's, who ended up becoming the acting attorney general? He made such a mess of things that Trump later, again, said, "Hey, hardly ever knew the guy." His own attorney general appointment. And then how could we forget this guy, who Trump called a terrific guy in a New York Magazine article in 2002, and said he had known the multimillionaire for 15 years. Well, once we found out what Epstein was doing, you guessed it, Trump said, "Hey, barely even knew the guy." And of course, this one goes unsaid. So there you go, guys. People that work for J.D. Vance and work for Donald Trump wrote the 2025 plan. Trump has embraced it on multiple occasions. The Heritage Foundation has created multiple videos with the help of Trump and J.D. Vance employees. And only somebody completely disassociated from reality would believe that this guy's telling the truth after the history that he has, that he never heard of or had anything to do with Project 2025. So the rest is up to you guys. You're standing in the field, you're looking down at the biscuit. Are you going to believe what your eyes are telling you, or are you going to go a different route? Have a great day, everybody.